Hi, this is Jessica Maes, Infusionsoft Certified Consultant, and today I'm going to show you how to create a landing page in Campaign Builder. We're going to head right over into my Infusionsoft application right now. I'm logging in from the beginning on this particular demo in case we have anybody that's really new to using Infusionsoft so that you can see step by step how to get where we need to go. So we just logged in, I've landed on the dashboard, and to create a landing page you have to do so in Campaign Builder. So you would either open up your existing campaign that you're working on that you want to have a landing page involved in, or you would start a new campaign. And now we're on the main page for building our campaign, and you're going to want to focus on the tool over to the right. You've got your traffic sources, you've got your goals, and you've got your sequences. The tools for creating a landing page are right here in Goals. You can pull out whatever icon that you want. Currently there are 11 icons in here, and it doesn't matter which one you pull out to create your landing page, and I'll show you why in a minute. So you pull one out. I'm going to get this out of the way now because we won't need it anymore. Now down here you see there's a purple square. That's representation of a web form. But the point here is that you can click on that, and no matter what icon you pull out, you're most likely going to have to click so that you get your pop-up window that offers all of your goal possibilities, and then you switch it to Submits a Landing Page Form. Once you have this icon down in the bottom left-hand corner, you have the template in place so that you can create a landing page. Now, these icons, there's two spots where you can click. There's the bottom left-hand corner, which allows you to modify the goal method if you wish. There's also, I should say there's actually 3 places to click. You can click on the icon itself, which we're going to do in just a second, and then you also can click on the words that are under the icon. And I highly recommend that you do that because down the road you're going to want to know which landing page is which or which web form is which, and so I recommend you label these with words that you will understand what is in there without having to click into the icon. So I'm going to call this landing page demo, and you would call this perhaps the webinar for your the landing page for your upcoming webinar, or whatever you're creating your landing page for. So click on the bottom left-hand corner, you can click on the words, and you can click on the icon itself, and that's where we're going to go now. When we do that, a template pops up. If you've used any Infusionsoft templates yet, this will look familiar to you. The starter templates always show up looking like this. And the reason that is, it's not so much what's on the page, it's kind of how it's set up. This makes it really easy for you to go ahead. If you want a very basic landing page, you can go in, and rather than start from scratch, you can, for example, I could double click on this area because they've got an image in here already. And I can swap it out with whatever I want. But typically on a landing page you're going to have some sort of header there. And that's a little smaller than I would like. I'm actually going to put it here just to save myself time. But you get the idea. You can just take Infusionsoft's template, you can swap it out with your own information very quickly, very easily. Okay, so now I don't need this thing that says great company up here, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Now if we scroll down, sorry, I'm dodging the box that stays on the screen for building this. I'm trying to get it out of the way here. There. Okay, so now I've got my header in place. Now this probably looks familiar because this is very much how landing pages look these days. The simple landing page of a message over to the left, a call to action, and over on the right, the spot where you can enter your details and sign up for whatever it is you're signing up for. So what you would do is you would change this to whatever you want. You keep and get rid of whatever fields you want for opting in. I would probably take this down to just a first name, but certainly you can keep last name in there. Email is a must. I probably would take out the phone number on this particular opt-in. Keeping the submit button here, but also we can click on it and we can modify it. We can move it. Right now it's aligned to the left. We could center it. I kind of like my submit button centered. We could do some advanced styling, meaning we could change the color, the size, the font, the border, and so forth. Right here. Okay, that's a pretty small button, but for demo purposes, you now know where you could make that bigger. And then over here I would have my call to action. So, you know, you're invited. And I would have my bullet points on what I want people to sign up for. The other thing that's very common with a landing page is sometimes it's just a video, and the video has the call to action in it, and over here is the opt-in. And if you decide to do that, you can do that very easily by pulling in the YouTube snippet. So in this case, you would, if you were going that route, you know, you would take out all the copy, maybe just have a heading, and then you would pull in your YouTube snippet. And it tells you exactly what you need to do to complete this. You have to put in your YouTube video ID. So the video has to be done. It has to be hosted over at YouTube. And every YouTube video has an ID. You would put the ID in here, and Infusionsoft would pull it onto your page. So that is another way that you can enhance your landing page. Further, you can tweak the layout. You'll notice here this is a split in half. We've got a sidebar over to the right. You could do a left sidebar, though that's not very common with a landing page. You also can get rid of the sidebar. So if you don't want a sidebar at all, you would just turn this off. You're going to notice I'm pointing at the screen as if you can see me pointing. You'll see that the opt-in disappeared. It didn't really disappear. It just went down here because we got rid of the column. I'm going to put that back in. And you see I'd have to do some maneuvering to get my opt-in back up here, but that is what we can do. I'm just going to do that really quick. So this goes back to looking like a traditional landing page. Alrighty, and let's grab this. So it's all drag and drop and swapping out information as needed and so forth. So that's one way that you can do this. I want to show you one more thing. You've got your style section. So this defaults to a gray background, and then of course all the apple orange template photos. You can change that to whatever you want specifically, and then if you have some things saved, you can quickly click and change things. So we're in my application right now, so I have my stuff very branded with the orange and the green and the brown. So I have an orange background all set to go. And when I clicked on that, it number one changed my background. It number two changed, you'll see register here. That was orange a couple seconds ago. Now it's my green. This is the orange color from my website, so on and so forth. So if you've done a little work in advance, you can quickly brand these as well. So keep in mind, up here we've got some tabs. You have to be mindful of these as well. So we've covered design. We've put together a very, very, very basic landing page. We have to switch to thank you page. We have to go across here and make sure everything is configured. So again, we get the Infusionsoft default. We can either stick with an Infusionsoft thank you page. Of course, we would want to swap out the information and get it colored and with our own branding on it. Or, if you notice the drop-down, you can change this to a web address. So if you have a thank you page out on your website or something that you just want to pop the URL in here, you can do that. Further, we've got the settings tab. And this is where you can, this is important, take a peek at this, auto-populate the form. This defaults to being checked, and so you probably will never have to worry about this because most people do want the information pushed through. If you are sending out an email and you've got a link to your landing page in there, so you're inviting people to click to learn more about something you want them to sign up for, you would definitely want this checkboxed because Then, if there's any information on the page, on your landing page that is, for example, if I were to receive an email and then I clicked to sign up, Infusionsoft would know my first name already and my email address already. So if we go back to the design area, I would open up my landing page and I wouldn't have to do anything except click submit, because my first name would be pre-populated and my email address would be pre-populated. So that is the convenience that checkboxing this brings you. Further, you can do a duplicate check. I typically run mine using the person's email address. That way, if I have somebody signed up and they didn't give me their name on a certain web form and now they are giving me their name, it's not creating a duplicate record as long as Infusionsoft is noticing that the email address is matched. So that's why I do that particular duplicate check on all of my stuff. And then I typically send myself a notification email. If this is something that's going to have high traffic, you might decide to just delete this and not receive a notification email, because you're going to get inundated with notification emails, because those go out every single time somebody submits the form. So it's up to you. And so if you decide to keep an email address in here, you can. And you also can add additional addresses. So if you have an assistant that works with you, you can put their email address in here and add whomever you want. If you're doing a JV, you might add them to the notification line. Just be sure to separate them with a comma and then have the subject line. If I'm receiving notifications, I will tweak that to whatever it is the landing page is about. So if I'm looking at my phone and going through my emails, I can quickly see, okay, this many people opted in for my webinar, this many people for my membership site, this many people for my free report, so on and so forth. Here is kind of the meat of what we need to do. If you are going to just drag, drop, and build over on the Design tab, using all of Infusionsoft's out-of-the-box functionality, this is the URL you will use, either one, landing page URL or custom URL. It'll take you to the same spot. The reason I'm not going to click on it is because I haven't published this yet, so you're going to see the whole apple and orange landing page. It's not going to see any of the modifications yet. But this is the link you would use, and you would literally be done. Okay, so you would design it using the drag and drop tools. You would make sure your thank you page is the way you want it. You would make sure your settings are the way that you want it. You would switch it from draft to ready. You would publish. And now your landing page is ready for prime time. So you just would grab the link. If you were more efficient than I am being right now, you would have already grabbed the link. But anyways, there is your landing page. Okay, so if you are content to use Infusionsoft out of the box, the tools that we have right in our application, you're done. You know how to build a landing page using your campaign builder functionality. If you would like to know how to do some more customization, then stay with me for a couple more minutes. So we're still on the code tab, and it's very self-explanatory what you can do here. You can share this with your network, Facebook and Twitter. You can do it yourself. Copy and paste the landing page HTML to your site by yourself. So this is something that you're going to want to, and then before I forget to come back to it, the last bar is to have your webmaster do it. You can email your webmaster your code for the landing page right here. But let's go back to do it yourself, because I just want to show you some ways to customize it a little bit more. So here in the do-it-yourself section, this is where your code is for the landing page. So what is in this box right here, and it's kind of hard to see it in its entirety. It's a lot of code, but it's the code, it matches up with this. Okay, so the code in this box, if you were to take it and put it, say, on your own web page, because you didn't want to have this URL, you wanted to have something different, then you would take the code out of here, you would copy it out, and then you would paste it into whatever page. The other thing that you can do is if you want some customization that you were not able to get using the Design tab out of the box. So if you want the Submit button to be more customized, or if you want different arrows than those green bullet point arrows that come through the drag and drop, you can make some modifications here in the code box. and you can go ahead then and customize your form. And then you can continue to host it within Infusionsoft, or you can host it on your own website. But this does allow you some flexibility with your form by coming in here and modifying the code. So one caveat on that, if you do not know anything about code, if you come in here and you really don't have the slightest idea what's going on in here, I'm going to recommend that you don't try to go down the road of additional modifications. Use Infusionsoft, use this tool out of the box, and let Infusionsoft's tools do all the work for you. If you don't know a lot of code and you have a web person, work in collaboration to get done exactly what you want to get done. But I don't recommend diving into this code section unless you know exactly what it is you want to tweak, because you could take something out that to the person that's not familiar with code thinks it might not be a big deal, like a period or or a bracket, and it could change things considerably, and then you're going to be pulling your hair out trying to figure out what to do. So really, I'm not trying to discourage you from modifying the code, but just really be sure that you're comfortable doing that, or you're working with somebody that's comfortable doing that. So the last thing that I want to show you before I wrap up this demo is, in the future, when you decide to build another landing page. So I'm staying right in the same campaign builder, in the same campaign, but if I were in a different campaign, the same would be true. So I've just pulled out another goal icon because now I want to create something called landing page demo 2. I'm going to open it up. But rather than building from scratch the way I did the first one, watch what we're able to do. Up here there's a drop-down menu, and we can copy from a campaign. These are all of my campaigns. I want to go into, this is called LP Demo, I think. There it is. Oops, I went too far. There it is. And then there's my LP demo. Now watch what happens. It pulls in the existing landing page. This is its own standalone version of that landing page. So it brought in the orange background, it brought in my header, it brought in my copy, it brought in everything. But if we were to dig into this, it would have a different link. Okay, so you're able to, once you've done the work of creating one and really branding it and so forth, you're able to crank out your subsequent landing pages really, really quickly. So that's pretty exciting. So make sure you take advantage of that shortcut when you're moving forward and creating your second and subsequent landing pages. Always remember to get it out of draft, and always remember to publish, and you will be good to go. That will conclude how to create a landing page in Campaign Builder.